I'd like to be under the sea.
Hello everyone, this is TWRC President Roberto. I am still the TWRC President because there is no clear winner of the recent election. So until there is a clear winner, it's still me. And as of the recording of this podcast, I'm still the President. I did not mean to go for a third term, but here we are now. I'm here today because we have to do a special FAQ of recent events that have been happening in the TWRC, more so with my announcement that Mr. MPS 2002 is now released from Misty Island Maximum Security Prison. And we're just going to do an FAQ, frequently asked questions, because I have changed my stance on this. And with me, of course, is Mr. MPS 2002.
Hello, Mr. President. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
I appreciate you making the correct and moral choice and setting me free after recognizing that I am simply just a political prisoner being held unjustly. But I will say we can put all that water under the bridge. We're currently actually sitting on the roof of Misty Island Prison. It's actually a very nice view out here. You can look out over the entire bay. You can see the island of Sodor in the distance. It's really quite beautiful up here. But if this episode sounds a little different, it's because we're once again sitting outside recording this beautiful episode.
At this point, it's become a yearly tradition to record one of these outside. But this one is important because we have to answer some frequently asked questions that people might have, such as why have I switched positions? And why am I not joined by Percy number 6? It's because that's a question I feel people would have, is because Percy number 6 and I, we aren't getting along that well, if you can believe it or not.
Yeah, Roberto, so what's your stance on the election right now? I've been locked up.
I have to basically inform you about everything that's been going on the last few weeks, months.
Yeah, I mean the guards have been letting me use Twitter a little bit, but I don't know much about what's going on. So please let me know what's happening here.
All right, well let's get this election debacle sorted out here. So the TWRC elections happened on November 6th, I believe. No, 8th? November 8th.
Whenever. I don't know. I've been locked up. It all feels the same to me.
It happened on November 8th, and I would know that because I saw Harry Styles on November 9th, breaking a little bit of my character here.
You saw Harry Styles? You're the president of the community, and you saw Harry Styles, bro?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, you know what? You let me go. You set me free, so I'm not
judge.
I'm not gonna say anything bad.
Harry's house. Anyways, yeah, no, it was November 8th. The elections were held. It was Tuesday, and Roman and Percy number 6's ticket won the election against the ticket of Miles and Ted and third-party candidate, which we will not get into.
Yeah. Because
that's a whole different story right there. We're just gonna focus on our main two guys here, our main two political parties. And well, the Roman ticket ended up winning.
Good for them. Congratulations.
And once that was announced, Roman announced that he will be conceding the race to Miles.
He conceded after he won?
He conceded after he won, if you can believe it or not.
Okay. That does sound like a very Roman move to me. He's very cowardly after all.
He probably couldn't handle the heat, so he stepped out of the kitchen right before his shift began to work as a chef.
Yeah.
Chef Roman over here. But yeah, so since Roman backed out and they were already announced president and vice president-elect, well, Anthony kind of swooped in and tried to claim the title. But a lot of people are not happy with that.
So you could
Roman
say
conceded to Miles. So
you
Miles
could say Percy number 6
president.
is trying to do a coup almost.
You know what?
Some sort of insurrection, maybe.
Kinda. He's trying to take power.
I don't know if I can
Forcefully
support that.
take power. Yeah, I
mean, he's
right?
my podcast host, and obviously he's my friend, and he's been a strong proponent of hashtag free MPS. But I mean, I feel like that's a step too far, to try and take the election. Although Roman did concede, but
he didn't concede to Percy number 6 here. He conceded to Miles.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is the main argument that Miles' supporters have on why Miles should be the rightful president-elect.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, that's fair enough.
So absolutely, normally the president election is announced The winner is announced the same night or the next day. But so far, it's been 5 weeks, and we haven't have a clear winner.
So it's still just you. You're still just holding the party for right now.
Yeah, I mean, I cannot be like, all right, my term's over, see ya, and then there's still all this chaos. So I've kind of signed on for an unofficial third term until this whole election is well past us and we have a new president in the community. But
have you tried to speak to Percy number 6 to try to settle this issue? Because this is a pretty important deal, you know.
Well, I have tried, and he's trying to get me to support him in all this, but I can't really, because Miles is also chatting me up, trying to get me to support him. So I decided just to become neutral throughout this and let the whole TWRC Congress kind of sort itself out here.
Wait, so you said Miles's running mate is Ted,
Yes,
right?
they're Ted.
So then who is Percy number 6's running mate? Because he was going to be Roman's vice president, right?
Right.
So then if the vice president is not the president, then who is his vice president, theoretically?
Well, if you want to look at the United States, how they do it, they probably, I don't know, maybe it's like the Supreme Court judges, the president nominates someone to become vice president, Congress approves, but
too much work.
It is too much work, and normally that happens after the president becomes president. But
plus, we don't live in America; we live in the Thomas Wooden Railway community.
Exactly, or I don't know if we're based off of America or not here, but even then, the president hasn't become president yet.
Yeah, and you're still the president. Wait, so does that mean Roman is still the vice president, technically?
Technically, yeah, because, it's like we're going on to a third term together in a way.
Yeah, I guess. That's weird. I'm not sure if I like that very much.
Roman staying as vice president longer than he needed to? Me neither,
He's
man,
a coward.
honestly.
He cowardly eked his way out of the election. Even after he won, he let down his voters, and it's really a damn shame. You really hate to see it. Well, what are some other questions that you want, some other misconceptions that you want to clear up, Roberto?
Well, let's see here. Why did I decide to lock you up? Well, why did I? I know I probably made a tweet about this, but I'm not going to go looking up for it.
My various... Well, I mean, obviously I'm innocent. Of course I'm innocent. But if I were not to be innocent, I have committed...
What would your reasons be?
I have committed various crimes against decency in terms of the community. Talking about how I don't actually like trains that much, or talking about how I don't care about the wheel configuration of engines, or even something as horrible as putting narrow gauge engines on standard gauge tracks on my layout.
That is despicable.
Yeah.
Who would do such a thing?
So from an
from
an outsider perspective, I can potentially see why you'd want to lock me up. But obviously I'm innocent of all charges.
Right.
And so this has just been a horrible false imprisonment. But, it's okay, because once again, like we talked about, I'm out, and we're currently drinking Baja Blast, sitting on the roof of Misty Island Prison.
Well, not just any kind of Baja Blast. We were drinking Baja Deep Dive, which you had to enter a contest and to win these, and me being the Mountain Dew aficionado I am, I entered and I won. And so I got a 6-pack of 16-ounce cans, and that's all I have to work with, because once these were gone, they were gone, and you could only win them in a contest. So very exclusive.
And Mr. President brought me one of these as a peace offering, and that was really what convinced me to accept his olive branch, his offering of peace, because I wasn't sure then, but then as soon as he showed me the limited edition Baja Blast, I knew that Roberto really meant meant that he was sorry. So, Mr. President, I appreciate it, and I appreciate you freeing me. But now I have to ask you.
Oh, it's an FAQ for me. Well, yeah, it is true.
I have to ask you, what will you do in order to prevent people like me, martyrs, heroes, even, if you will, from being falsely imprisoned again?
Well, that's something we'll have to discuss with the Congress, I feel. One way to make sure that falsely accused civilians...
Heroes is the word you're thinking of.
Okay, yeah, not everyone can be heroes.
Yeah.
But civilians, heroes, people, constituents, they are not wrongly accused and locked up. We need to probably tone down the TWRC Justice Department a little
Mhm.
bit, because they seem to be pretty lockup heavy.
Yeah, they're pretty quick with it. I
Yeah, they're
remember
quick. They're pretty stingy. Probably that's not the word I'm looking for here.
they
They just want to get things done and over
Exactly.
with. So that's why they're like, it's easier just to put them away instead of actually having a long trial to prove they're innocent. If we can just prove they're guilty based on our saying and consciousness, then that's easy. Get rid of them.
So what
Less people out on the streets.
So what you're saying is we need to defund the TWRC Justice Department. Either that, or here's an idea.
Okay.
You could just take Roman and put him in charge of it because he's a coward. Clearly, he's not going to do anything.
Maybe that should be a role I can suggest Congress to put him up towards, or whoever the new president is, to nominate Roman for that position in the cabinet.
Here's the problem, though. That what if we actually have a serious offender? Like, what if we see the return of someone like Jack Huddleston or Scott Stonecipher, a real dangerous criminal? What do we do in that case? Because then Roman's going to be definitely too scared to do anything about that.
Oh. Well, I don't know. You know what? It's been 10 years. Maybe we should forgive Jack Huddleston, he said with a very worrisome expression.
Yeah.
Maybe Roman would be welcoming of Jack Huddleston's return.
I don't think Roman even knows who Jack Huddleston is, if I'm being 100% honest with you.
That's true. When did he join? Like 2013, 2014?
Something like that.
We got rid of Jack in 2012.
Yeah.
Going into 2013, he started to come back, troll us a bit, but then he left and...
The Jack War.
The Jack War. People look at that and be like, what the fuck is going on with these guys? Why are they doing this?
I remember back then, Jack left for a little bit, and then he came back. He released a trailer in the style of The Dark Knight Rises or whatever.
Yeah.
And it turns out that Kikra24 and Percy number 6 just convinced him to come back just so they could roast him again. They literally convinced him to come out of retirement just so he could get roasted twice as hard.
Is that why he came back in October of 2012?
Yes.
I did not know that.
And he released that cheesy ass Batman trailer, Sir Topham Hatt 291 Rises or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, I remember Johnny and Henry's Grade 15 and I were like, oh no, not again, in their high-pitched voices.
Yeah, it turns out that was actually just Percy number 6 and Kikra24 just trying to basically bait him into humiliating himself even more.
Well, yeah, I feel like this time with the Confederate TWRC, he really sold the deal here.
Yeah.
He really gave Kikra and Percy number 6 their money's worth.
Yeah, I
guess. They had to bribe them to come back with actual money, but we all know we were 14, 15 at the time, maybe a little younger.
Well, and that was also
we didn't have money for that.
That was also before the days that the TWRC government was founded. Back then, we were just kind of on our own, just kind of doing whatever.
Yeah.
But now that we have this government and these checks and balances to help keep us on, making sure that everything is okay to maintain a polite and civil society.
Well, maybe we can have the president do an override if the Justice Department decides to not try someone or push it. Because honestly, if you look at regular Congress, I feel like they're too powerful.
Oh, there's Harold the helicopter in the distance.
Oh, Harold's coming.
He's flying. Is he flying? Did you arrest someone new?
To arrest someone new, maybe he's gonna fish out Scott Stonecipher from the middle of the ocean.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe Scott Stonecipher had a little bit of a swimming accident.
Yeah, well, it was a sink or swim test, and there's only two options there, really. So clearly,
I think he stunk.
Yeah.
So Bulstrode is heading down to the bottom of the ocean to join the Titanic.
Yeah.
And Scott Stonecipher is, if Harold doesn't get there soon enough, Scott Stonecipher might get his second half eaten by a shark.
Well, that's okay, because he's one of the most notorious criminals in the community's history.
I mean, what did he do that was really that bad?
What do you mean? He blew up that orphanage? You remember
Besides that?
Remember that? He blew up that orphanage.
Besides that? That doesn't sound that bad.
He was selling weapons to the people of Sodor. Remember those assault rifles?
Assault rifle usage did go pretty high during his tenure on YouTube on Sodor, but what else? What else did he do?
What if in Thomas and the Magic Railroad, What if when Diesel 10's like threatening Mr. Conductor, instead of pulling out the sugar, Mr. Conductor just pulled out a gun? That would be awesome. That would be a way better movie. And then throughout the rest of the movie, Mr. Conductor's just waving a gun around. That'd be a much better movie.
Well, you know what? It was all for the parody to make that into reality, but they did not, obviously. I never watched the parody, though.
Mr. President, come on.
If you want to be completely honest, I haven't even watched Project Tiger Moth all the way through.
Oh, Mr. President. These people that put their hearts and souls into making these fine passion products will be crushed. Absolutely crushed.
Well, I'm not the one, like, heavily criticizing it either.
That's true.
I feel like I feel like with Project Tiger Moth, they were two people. They were the ones who were trying to like nitpick almost every little single thing, and then the ones who were like, "This is great, this is fantastic. I don't know why people are complaining about this and that," you know?
Yeah. No, I mean,
but like, I'd be, super proud if I were to do something like that. Something to that big of a scale and get like such a strong positive reaction from it. I still feel like the reaction to it was overall positive here.
Yeah, the people that are absolutely picking them apart is silly. I mean, it's like sure, it's not perfect, but it's a fan film, It's not like they're not like actually being like, yeah, we are gonna make the new TV series, we're gonna make the new season. It's like, no, they wanted to make, at least as far as I understand, I don't know, maybe Flying Pringle has aspirations to take over the Thomas TV show or whatever, but as far as I understand it, they just wanted to make something fun in tribute to Season 5, which is the best season of Thomas, in my opinion.
It is good. I grew up watching it. But also, not even the show is perfect, too, if you really think about it.
That's true.
You know how there are a lot of goofs where where you have the camera in the shot or a boom microphone? Yeah. One that comes to mind is in the Diseaso when Bill and Ben... It's either when they're where they're leaving the trucks for Boko to take, eventually. You can kind of see on the top of the screen... a set of hands just pulling string back, where I guess they're pulling the trucks backwards.
Or like there's episodes where you could see like the end of the set or whatever, or like a track that just goes off into nothingness.
Oh, I did that all the time with my series too.
Or even like where you could see like the sticky tack that is sticking like the human characters to the sets or whatever.
Right.
It's just that kind of thing. I mean, that's just like, that shows you too. I feel like that kind of thing adds to the charm almost, because it shows you that they really are filming this on like a model set. Dude, when I was a kid, maybe I was just a fucking stupid ass kid, but I for real thought that the engines were like actual engine sized, and they had like a bunch of like a real Thomas model with this giant face or whatever pulling them around, but that's just like a testament to how good those sets and stuff like that are.
Yeah, I really wanted Soto to exist. I thought it would be pretty cool.
Well, and then for Magic Railroad, they built a couple like to scale engines, right? Because there's the scenes where like Burnett and
yes.
What's his fucking granddaughter? Lily, right?
Lily, yeah, Lily.
Where Burnett and Lily are in the cab or whatever of like Lady or like Thomas's cab.
And then they did that whole restore the magic thing where they found the lady prop that was converted to something else, and then they wanted to restore it back to its original appearance in the film.
And it turned out it was a total scam.
It was a scam. Percy number 6 said it was a scam first, and that's the most popular video ever, is him basically shitting on the whole Thomas and the Magic Railroad restore the magic fundraiser and shit like that, which surprisingly people donated to.
He should become, Percy number 6 should quit.
What should he become? Because he's obviously, I don't think he's going to become president.
He should become a drama YouTuber.
A drama YouTuber.
You should just be like Keemstar for the community. He's constantly talking about the drama that's happening in the community.
Honestly, that could be the community news if Henry and Roman wanted to make it just a fuck it, we're gonna do it like this, Keemstar, instead of making it like a real news broadcast.
Just start up some mad beef. Just like, and be super biased towards people they don't like.
Justin, a new awesome remake from Percy 6 Productions is out. It's the best thing ever. And then here we have another layout video from Roberto, which is utter shit.
Which is terrible.
It's terrible. The camera's all shaky. The video quality is bad. You know, just for example. But I like my layout videos. Although I will admit, I record them on my iPhone, and whenever I hit the 0.5, it just makes everything look so grainy and bad when you look back at it and editing it.
What about if you like do like the manual, like not hit the button, but like zoom in like manually,
like into like from like ×1 to ×2?
Yeah,
I don't think it does anything that bad. No, it's just a little bit jarring because it's like an immediate zoom in.
Yeah,
but I think with the 0.5, it just makes everything a little more grainy. I noticed that from a video, and then even someone in the comments pointed it out. Yeah.
Send them to prison.
You know what? Maybe any criticism against the president should go to prison.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time. You know what? It's time for me to do my own XYZ affair act, where I just send anybody who criticizes the government to prison.
Well, now that I'm out, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think that you should do that.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
It sounds like a good plan.
Because I'm surprised people are not really up in arms that I'm doing a third term.
Seems like nobody's
not
even
elected
really.
to it yet.
Seems like nobody's even really noticed. I mean, not to, of course, not to criticize you, but have you done anything as the president since the elections happened?
I freed you from prison.
Yeah, that's.
Besides that, no, not really.
Because gas is going up on the island of Sodor big time. I don't know.
Oh, really?
I don't know what the deal is with that, but
I don't know either.
I also know that you don't control the island of Sodor. That's not really your domain. You rule the community. But
yeah, I guess I am under Sir Topham Hatt then, if you really want to put it. So if there's anyone you should be angry with about, things out of my control of the community, it should be Sir Topham Hatt.
Yeah, he's like a dictator too, man. He's scary. I remember that time because I remember for a while I was the ambassador to Sodor for a while.
Right, that was your former position in my administration.
And you and me went and we had lunch with him, and it was pretty scary, man. He's a scary guy. Obviously he's big, but he also had like 15 workmen all standing behind him, and they were all holding wrenches in their hands and looking real intimidating. And I was very scared, and that's why I resigned the position of ambassador to Sodor, because Sir Topham Hatt scares the hell out of me.
Dude, I thought we were going to take a wrench to the forehead.
Dude, yeah, it's a good thing we got out of there, honestly.
So is that why you started to shit talk Sodor as the ambassador?
Yes.
Maybe that's why.
Because I'm scared of them. Obviously, they can't get me here in the community because we have our own separate jurisdiction. But I mean, man, that guy's for Topham Hatt. You know what you should do?
What?
We should start a war with Sodor. I think that'd be good.
Interesting.
I can be your war advisor.
The general?
Yeah, that's the word.
Wait, you know what?
You can be the commander-in-chief, I'll be the general MPS. I like that.
You know what I was thinking is that because, I know like the whole discourse over the recent election was, oh, free MPS. If I'm elected to president, I'm going to free MPS. Well, no, I'm going to do it if I'm elected to president. But now that I've already done it, the new president, whoever that may be, if it's Miles or person number 6, they have nothing to do. So
yeah, they didn't really have any policies other than freeing meat, which I appreciate.
That was like their only like election promise, and I've already taken over and completed it for them,
Yeah.
So like, what if I get the community into a war?
Yeah,
with Sodor.
We could start a war with Sodor.
Yeah, and then it's like, what if I just start the war right after they announce who's going to win, and then the war is an ongoing issue when they are sworn into office, and it's no longer my problem.
There you go.
Yeah, it's their problem now, and I give them something to do because I already freed MPS. So now that you're freed, there's nothing to do. But if I start the war, and they become a president and they come into office, then they have something to do.
I'm really excited about this, but I do have one thing.
What's up?
What if Sir Topham Hatt wins? Because like I said before, he's pretty scary, and he has a lot of workmen with a lot of wrenches.
That's a good question.
Because like we said, Roman's a coward. He'll run away at the first sign of Captain docking on our community shores. Roman will be out of here. He'll be on a plane to fucking Ted's house to hide out in the middle of nowhere with him.
With Jeremy the jet plane.
Yeah, he's gonna be hopping in. Jeremy the jet plane's gonna show up and draw. They turn Jeremy the jet plane into a fighter plane.
Or no, not even. No. Roman's gonna hop on JJ the jet plane.
Oh my
and
God.
I'm going to say his name correctly this time.
Yeah, there you go.
Jeremy is gonna bring Sir Topham Hatt over to the island, and he's gonna storm the beaches of Sodor.
Yeah.
The
beaches of the community.
The beaches of the community, which is located in Sodor, so it's really just the outside of the community center, which we all reside in.
Yes. Well, I mean, and it's like, I just don't want. Technically, we do already exist under Sir Topham Hatt's regime. We're kind of like a micronation inside of Sodor.
Do you think we're being viewed as a legitimate nation by other members of NATO and things like that?
Honestly,
Like, are we recognized?
no, I don't think so. I don't think so. But that's fine because that means they leave us alone. They can't tax us for anything if they don't recognize us.
That is true, but whenever we buy from eBay, they tax us because
That's true.
That's just what NATO does.
That tax is crazy.
US.
That's why I've stopped buying from eBay recently. It's too much. It's getting pretty wild out there. You want to buy a 1994 Scarloey? Nope. Too expensive. $80 shipping. Are you kidding me? They even make Scarloey in 1994? What year did he come out?
96.
Oh, okay.
You might get them in a 94 box if you're using old parts.
Well, that's why it's so rare. That's why it's so hard to get. It's because it's a prototype.
It's a prototype. It's got flat magnets and Percy's face.
And
it's a prototype.
It's got stapled magnets.
Stapled magnets.
And flat bottoms. And round wheels.
I wonder what Matthew Rosado's doing right now. Do you think he'd make a good community president?
I thought he was locked up in. I thought he was locked up here in Misty Island with me. Honestly.
Oh really?
I heard someone else talking about another Matt somewhere in the prison, but there's like 800 Matts in the community. Oh, you know what? It was probably Rhinedale Railway because his name is Matt too.
That's like what, 5 Matts in the community?
Yeah, we got me, Matt Michaud, Matthew Rosado,
Twillman, and then Rhinedale Railway.
And probably like a bunch more as well. You remember LB Bryan?
Not really, no.
He like had a duck profile picture all the time, and he always had the comments turned off on his videos.
No, the only person I remember the comments turned off on his videos was Multi, because he would say stuff and it'd be like infactual information about the item that's like not correct, like the wrong release year or something like that, the wrong retirement year, and he's like, oh, I don't know, let me know in the comments if you know. And I'm like, bro, your comments are locked.
Well, LB Bryan, he was another person whose name was also Matt.
Jesus,
in the community.
there was no originality with your parents.
I mean, hey, it's a nice biblical name.
It's biblical. Well, I can see it. I don't know. I guess in my neck of the woods here with biblical names, it's either you name your son Christian, or you name them Jesus if they're Hispanic, Jesus or Jesus,
Well,
those are the most common biblical names I think that I see around here.
Do you have any more issues about this recent ongoing events in the community that you'd like to clear up, President Roberto?
Well, let's see here. No, I think my work here in the community for right now is pretty much done. I'm just gonna hold down the fort until we elect a new president, or not elect a new president, but know who's our new president-elect. And then once we know who the new president-elect is, then maybe I'll consider starting that war on Sir Topham Hatt.
Yeah, well, I mean, keep me in mind. I'd love to be a general. I'd love to help out on the front lines. Roman will not be getting anything done, so I'd love to potentially become the new general of the of the community army.
No, we're keeping Roman as vice president, definitely.
Okay, that makes sense.
And we're keeping him vice president until the term is over. Then I don't know what he would do after that. Maybe he'll go off into obscurity.
Go live in a cardboard box with a pointy roof on the top.
Potentially, maybe he would just go back doing whatever he was doing before, which is releasing a remake every year. Only one remake. That's it.
And then posting a bunch of pictures on Twitter of sets that he's not filming remakes on.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I mean, we'll see whoever the new president-elect is and what kind of shit they're gonna have to deal with after I leave.
Okay, well, I think this sort of this little sit down, this little chat that we are having, I'm hoping that it'll help clear up people's questions as to what's going on in the community.
Right. If you have any additional questions that you have, put them in the comments down below. We'll get to them maybe next year when we do this same thing again, record a Blue Midwest Mysteries outside.
Hopefully not on the roof of the prison, not that it's nice, but hopefully maybe at your house or something like that.
Maybe indoors next time, who knows.
Instead of being at a prison.
Right. Do you see Harold still in the air, by the way?
Yeah, it looks like he wasn't able to get Scott Stonecipher. He might be dead.
No. Oh, shoot.
Well,
that's horrible. Scott Stonecipher, you sink or swim, Obviously, you didn't swim.
This episode is dedicated in memory of Scott Stonecipher.
I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden.